Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here, and welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Excited for a great day today, guys. Been really crazy the last couple weeks, I'll tell you. Hopefully, you've checked out stocktraders.net online trading community. We got a lot of stuff going on there. I encourage you guys to join up. Check it out. There's a free trading floor. You can send any of us messages in there to get our opinions and our thoughts on what we're talking about this morning. And you could also check out a free trial that we also have. It's like $25 for 3 days just to check out our premium section, which is pretty awesome. We have a pretty great scan in there, live screen share at the open. It's pretty impressive. Hopefully you guys have checked it out. So with that in mind, just want to remind you guys, the disclaimer side is nothing that we're talking about today is any type of solicitation. We're just giving you some thoughts on a few ideas each or a couple ideas each, not trying to come, 20 different ideas in a huge list that you guys got to go through. And just come up with your own plans. It's just some of our thoughts. Make sure you read the disclaimer below in the description area. So excited to see what Ricky has going on over there and looking forward to see how noisy it is, and I'll tell you why. So back to you, Ricky, man.
Thanks a lot, Goose. And yeah, what I've got going on over here is a 1-year-old sitting on my lap eating Cheerios. And as long as she wants to remain nice and calm, this should go smooth. But as far as what I'm watching this morning, first thing on the list, we're going to head on over to AMTX. Now, I want to make sure everyone knows that none of these things are going to be anything I would marry or swing. This is a turd as big as turds can come. They have no cash. But I don't think they're going to do an offering midday, and this thing's retraced right to that 61.8 level. And these are what I like to call the Goose plays. This is his specialty, but every once in a while, there's one I'm watching that fits that. And actually, this one and another one I'm going to talk about today are the same thing. So that 2 level is what I'm going to be playing against. It's held this 61.8 area, like 190, 192-ish or whatever, for 2 straight days. I think people that were short were expecting much more downside, and it's just holding. So I think shorts might be getting nervous, and we might see a push up today. So I'm looking for some higher lows to set in and look for a spot that I can put risk against and get long on this one. The next thing I'm looking at, guys, is SMRT, and this is the exact same type play, a 61.8 retrace after a big push up. Now, this company is actually a grocery store that I have around in my local area. It's not like any sort of a scam or anything. They had decent earnings, and the float's nowhere near as big as what's outstanding. There's some pretty big holders out there. So the way this thing's holding it too as well is something I'm looking for to show me some higher lows and start pushing off probably around that 150 area, using 150 as risk. See if we can get a nice move up off of this one. The last thing I'm looking at, guys, is GIS, and this was a big earnings miss. This is General Mills, and as a friend of mine said earlier today, it made me laugh. He said, man, millennials don't eat cereal, which is funny to me. But you can see they lost this really important level of 50, and we're way below 52-week lows. But as of right now, the pre-market, we are at lows. I need this thing to push up first, back into that 48, 49 area, risking against 50, and hopefully have pre-market lows as the first target. If this thing can continue lower and get extended, I may even look for some long-term investors to come back in and start buying this thing back up. But of course, I never get in front of a moving train. Got to see higher lows and higher highs before I even think about trying to long something like this, especially when there's a lot of people probably panic selling. That's everything for me. I'm happy the kids stayed quiet. Goose, take it away, buddy.
I'm a little bit sad that she stayed quiet. That would have been fun. Hey, just before I forget, on the GIS idea, I actually like the fade as well on that. Actually, if you look on the pre-market, I'll just switch over to, but in that 47.50 area, you're kind of seeing the pre-market here. That might be an interesting starting point as well. So like Ricky said, I'd like to see a bigger push would be ideal, but maybe even in that 47.50 area for the fade. It's a really great thought. I'm glad you covered that this morning, Ricky. Good job on that one. I'm going to jump over to PRTA. Just so you know, on PRTA, here's my thoughts. PRTA is it's already coming into the range that I wanted. I had posted on my little tweet there. that I'm looking at this 38.39. What I do pre-market, you guys have seen it. You saw it on Arna the other day. Had a good trade off that one. Is I'm looking for a retrace. So this is the pre-market levels. How you do it off the close. It's kind of in this 38 to 39 area, but it doesn't mean. I was hoping it would crack pre-market. I had said actually in the room this morning when I was talking, I was hoping pre-market it would crack the 40, which it did. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a little bit of a wash at the open maybe, or if it wants to open up right in here, and then a push back through 40 for a nice shove up into that. I think actually it's going to make new highs, but I could see it moving up towards that 42 to 44 range. I think it's a really nice trade that could set up here. I'll have my eyes on it and looking to see for a like we always say, the higher lows and then take it. But right at the open, if it opens up down in this area or any kind of wash, this is where the initial trade is going to be for me, is right at the open. I'll push back up into 42, and then I'll reassess things. And if it wants to make a higher low down in that 40 area, I might even trade it again from the long side. But I do like it. Come 11 o'clock, then it will be just kind of joining a trend and maybe even a backside move if it's, made a couple tops up there in that 42 to 44 area. But there might be a few trades in PRTA today that I definitely like. Here's a slower one I just want to throw up there. It's DIN. So DIN, just looking at it, and this is what I'm looking at. The full retrace you could kind of see on the daily. It's been sitting here. I've been having an eye on. I had an eye on it when it had the 50% retraces, you guys know, and I said it. So you got to always wait. See what it wants to hold. Well, now we've held here a couple days, and you can see the low. It's very defined for me. It's 64.70 and 64.80, I believe, 64.86, and this is what I'm looking for. So now I have very defined levels that if I scoop some down here in the low 65s or mid 65s, I have a very defined risk. And this is a stock that has range. I mean, this has $3, $4, $5 range. The key on a name like this, guys, and just to remind you, is this is a name that with that range, it always has a big spread. So it's all about entry, making sure your entries, making sure you're patient on it. It's a low volume name. But I want to be there when the volume changes a little bit. Instead of 400 that it traded yesterday, it trades 700 or 800. I want to be in front of that move on a push up to 70. So I like this as a possible play. I'll keep my eyes on it, maybe stick a couple bids in there and use a pretty strict out on it, because if it wants to go through here, it's probably coming down to the 50 days. So that's one that I like also. I want to talk about ECYT. Sorry. ECYT, let me get rid of these. These were some, looks a little funny with them there. But you can see on the on this horizontal line that I drew. So this is what I'm looking at, is I've been waiting and seeing if it's going to be a short and a break through 930. And I'll tell you, Ricky and I were talking about this morning. I really do think that it's a short through 930. The tough part for me mentally is it might hold 9. So I'm not sure about the meat on the bone through 930, but it will definitely get my attention for a wash through 930 and then maybe making a lower high and then continuing on through 9. My play on this is from the long side, and the reason is you can see it's clearly holding this 930 level. And yesterday you could see that it made a higher low here. 934 was the day before. Yesterday the low on the day was 958. It actually broke through 10 for a minute and kind of pulled back. But all that has to do is clean that up. You can see the volume slowing down. It's made a higher low, higher high, and this is one of the turns that I like to see happen. So initially what I'm going to look for is good entry. I'm going to use yesterday's low as a guide. A push up into 1050 is going to be my initial goal on this. You might even get more out of it depending on if how much comes into it. We've seen these things take a little bit bigger moves than we expect. So I like the long idea on this. I have very defined risk using yesterday's lows and 930 level, depending on if my entry is even a little bit below it. I still might play that because it's held that 930 level a few times now, as you can see on the daily. So that's all I have today. Guys, let's stay safe. There's a lot out there. We were talking pre-market this morning. I am watching names like Twitter and the Facebooks. I kind of feel a little bit better about Twitter down at these levels. Watch Twitter for a 32.30 break at the open here. Might get some legs and a quick move up to 33 or so. So that's another one that we've been looking at pre-market with the community there. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Turn it back over to Ricky. Have a great day, guys. Please check us out over at stocktraders.net. I think you'll be really impressed with what we're offering over there. So back to you, Ricky.
Thanks a lot, Goose. Can't believe it. 6 tickers and 5 of them are longs. I don't know if we've ever had that before. I think the first time we have where it's all longs, we're going to have to do something special for it. That's it for me. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a trade, stay safe out there. Go out and crush it today, guys. Kaya, you want to say bye? Can I get you to say bye-bye? Say bye, Kaya. Maybe not. All right. Everyone, have a good one. Take care. Peace.